I've seen videos of influential Black men as well as women stating to Black people they should vote for Kamala Harris because she would be the first female Black president. Many people have been saying she is not Black. I want to share this video with you.
Everybody's favorite Hindu Indian prosecutor and attorney general and senator. Now she becomes Black. But, I met her daddy, fine gentleman, Professor Harris. And the problem with her being Black is Professor Harris says he's Caucasian, mixed Irish and Hindu. He doesn't have any Black ancestors, but his Irish ancestors owned a lot of slaves in Jamaica and had them to work on plantation. So if mama is on the birth certificate listed as a Caucasian, daddy says he's a Caucasian Hindu and has no Black ancestors, how did she get to be Black? Now,
As you can see in that video, Judge Joe Brown stated that he met Kamala Harris' father. He had an opportunity to speak with him. And even her father never stated that he was Black. He was part Black or half Black. He described himself as being white, not Black. So therefore, she's not Black. So to say she would be the first Black female president would be a lie. I don't understand why she is going along and everyone else is going along with this lie. That is disrespectful to Black women as well as the Black community to push someone on them who does not represent them. If she is going to be the president, then she should be the president, the first Indian president, but not the first Black president because she is not Black. And that is so disrespectful, and it's like it's sickening that as someone who wants to be the leader of the free world, that she cannot stand on her own and be who she is to represent this country. She doesn't take being the vice president serious. There's a saying, and I also seen someone use this in the video, but they was directing it at Donald Trump. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Kamala Harris has showed us, not just Black people, but the United States. She has showed us who she is. She doesn't take being the vice president serious. She doesn't do what she didn't do what she was assigned to do as far as going to the border and making sure the border was secure. The border is still not secure 4 years later. So how can we expect her to be any different once she becomes president? Is all of a sudden she's going to change her views on what's going on in America? Or she's going to be the same person that we're seeing now? Is she going to act the same way that she's acting now? That she's not taking her job as vice president serious. So how can we believe that she's going to take the job as being the president of the United States serious? I want to also share some other information with you. This article was written March 31st of 2023. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris, who is on a tour of 3 African countries, Ghana, Tanzania, and Zambia, has drawn criticism over her support for LGBTQ rights. In Ghana, in a speech calling for all people be treated equally, she appeared to criticize a bill before the country's parliament, which criminalized advocacy for gay rights and proposed jail terms for those that identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender. The country's speaker, Alban Bagbin, later called her remarks undemocratic and urged lawmakers not to be intimidated by any persons. In Tanzania, a former minister spoke against U.S. support for LGBTQ rights ahead of the visit, and in Zambia, some opposition politicians have threatened to hold protests. I wanted to go over some information on this website. It is FAIR, Federation for American Immigration Reform. And I just wanted to point out some information about illegal immigrants. So according to this information, there are at least 16.8 million illegal aliens in the United States as of the beginning of 2023. And in fiscal year 2023 alone, nearly 138,000 unaccompanied children were encountered at our borders. That is an average of 378 per day. Illegal immigrants cost the American taxpayers approximately $182.1 billion annually as of the beginning of 2023. Illegal aliens only contribute around 31.4 billion in taxes at the state and federal levels, meaning that illegal immigrants cost American taxpayers a net of at least 150.7 billion annually.
What is your experience in international diplomacy? You got made the representative of the country to handle the foreign affairs. You failed so badly they yanked you out when you were actually the boss in charge. The borders are. You just complete abject failure to that. Your only appearance down there was to sit in a chair in the desert while they interviewed you, trying to be cute, flashing your pearls, and you didn't do your job. So you're talking now about you want to legitimize 20 million aliens who've come in here and see that they get fast tracked so they can vote and become part of the whole process. What are you doing?
As you can see with that information I just read you, that she should be dealing as vice president. They put her in charge of the border. She should be dealing with the issues in her country. She instead decides to go over to a whole different continent, visit 3 different independent countries who has presidents who's running their country the way they want to, but she wants to dictate to them how they should conduct their society when it comes to homosexuality. That's what's important to her. That's what she decided to go see about in a whole nother country. And these people did not ask her to come there. They didn't ask for her opinion. They are running their country the way they want to run their country. The job she should have been doing and focused on was here in her country, which is the United States of America. And you see, she chose to ignore what's going on. The Democratic Party has created a problem. The problem is not going away. The problem is actually getting worse. It's 150.7 billion dollars annually, and this is starting in 2023. So 2024, it's going to be that amount or more that taxpayers are paying to house, feed, to also send the kids to school, medical, anything they need. That's coming out of that $150.7 billion. So if the border is still open, that means more people are coming over. That means more resources are going to be needed. There are states right now, like New York and other states, that they are being drowned with illegal immigrants. They have no place to put them. And then also the places they are putting them are taken away from the citizens in this country who may have fell on hard times and needed somewhere to stay, who may have fell on hard times and needed housing, needed money, needed food assistance, but they can't get it, or they've been turned away, or they've been put on the list and pushed back. So now their wait time is longer because they're dealing with the problem with illegal immigrants. Some of these states are now saying, look, we don't have anywhere to put them, and we're no longer going to put them over our citizens. So they're telling some of the people, hey, wherever you want to go in this country, wherever you want to go, we will give you a free plane ticket. I don't know where they're going to be going, but they're willing to give them a free plane ticket out of their states because they're saying, hey, you can only be here for 5 days in these shelters and then you have to leave because these are only temporary shelters and we don't have any houses for you. So it's not benefiting this country, and it's also not benefiting the illegal aliens as far as what the United States are doing to us as citizens, as well as doing to these people that's coming over here thinking that things are going to be better and finding out a lot of times they're not. And then with the 138,000 children, unaccompanied minors, do you honestly think these kids got where they were supposed to go? Do you think they made it to family members that may have been waiting for them? Do you think they know where 138,000 kids are? Like I said, when a person show you who they are, believe them. And she showed us time and time again who she is as Vice President of the United States. She's not for black people, and she's not for American people. She's not black, so she's definitely not for black people. She's not for black women. She's not for black men, and you can see that based on when she was an attorney. So to try to push her on black people saying you have to vote for her because she's black is just a blatant lie. Look at just her, what she's doing for this country as a whole. She's bringing it down, her and Joe Biden. And so why would you want her to demonstrate these same behaviors as president? This is her time now to run on, this is what I can do for my country. Not, hey, vote for me because I'm black. Hey, vote for her because she's a black woman. If that's the only thing you have to offer, I'm sorry, that's not enough. What are you going to do about the border? Answer the hard questions. Steve Harvey was saying in a thing that he was doing, oh, we don't want to ask the question now. Why not? She had 4 years to demonstrate what she's going to do about the border, and she did absolutely nothing. She decided to hop a plane to go to another country and deal with not their problem, because it wasn't a problem to them, it was a problem to her. She wanted to go over there and look cute, party, and do all that other stuff instead of coming over here dealing with the problems that her and her government, her and her party had put in place. The Democratic Party put that in place because all they had to do was go down there and say, you know what, this is not working. Let's go ahead and close the border. This is not benefiting them, and this is not benefiting our country. We can't have 138,000 kids running around and we don't know where they are. This is not a good thing. This is not a good look. She got opportunities now to stand up and be a vice president, but she chose not to. So why would anyone feel that she's going to be different as a president? That's the question. What is she doing now that makes you think, she's going to be a great president? She's not showing herself as a great vice president. And when it comes to Christianity, we already see that she's not for Christians. She's more for LGBTQ. She's not even trying to help out Jewish people. You know, her husband is Jewish. Her adopted kids, because she adopted his kids, so her adopted kids are Jewish. But she's not even standing up for them. She's not even standing up against the hate that the Jewish people are facing in America when it comes to Palestine and Gaza. She's ignoring that altogether. The only thing that she's jumping up for, the only thing that she's running towards is LGBTQ+. That's the only thing she cares about. Everything else in America, she don't care about it. She doesn't care about education. She doesn't care about the issue with poor people. She doesn't care, because if she did, she'd close the border, because that is taken away from poor Americans that need help in this country, veterans and different people like that who need help in this country. She's showing you exactly who she is. So we need to believe that and don't fall for the facade that everyone else is trying to push on us, especially they're trying to push that on black people. Like I always say, I'm not telling you to vote, I'm not telling you not to vote. But what I'm saying is, be mindful when you make a decision and vote. Don't vote based on a person's color. Don't vote based on if a person is a Democrat or Republican. Look at what they're doing for this country. Look at the policies they're standing for. Look what changes, positive changes they're making. Are they bringing this country together as one big nation, or are they trying to tear it apart? Or are they only focusing on one group of people? She's focusing on LGBTQ+. She showed that she's focusing on them. She don't care about the border. She want to fast track those people in so they can vote, and she's hoping that they vote for Democrats so the Democratic Party can continue to be in power. But she doesn't care about what happened to them, because if she did, she'll say, you know what, we need a better system because we need to know where they're going, what's going on, so we can better help them. We need to make sure these kids are taken care of. She doesn't have any kids of her own, so she doesn't have that mother instinct to care about these kids coming across the border by themselves. How could you, as a mother, be okay with so many kids coming across the border, knowing what type of world we live in, knowing that you don't know where all those kids are, knowing that some of those kids are being SA and ST, and horrible things are happening to them, but you don't care. You hop a plane and go to another country and try to dictate to them how they should run their country. That's who she is. So I'm going to read to you 2 Corinthians 4, 8 through 9. We are afflicted in every way, but not crushed, perplexed, but not driven to despair, persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed. So as Christians, we need to remember to stay focused on Jesus, to keep our focus on God. Regardless of what's going on in this world, He is the way, He is the truth, and He is the light. He is what's going to guide us to make right decisions. He is going to guide us, and no matter what's going on, we need to just remember that He is over everything. He is still sitting on the throne. So regardless of what these people want to do, whether they're Democrat or Republican, He's the one that's still in control. And we need to stay focused on that. We need to pray for the Democratic Party. We need to pray for the Republican Party, and basically just pray for the United States in a whole, to make sure that God's will is what's done in this world. Because without God, it's like everything is just falling apart. And we see that this country has turned, and even when you see what happened in the Olympics, this, not just this country, but the world has turned away from God, and they're turning to, idol worship, paganism, and all that, just like it was in the Bible during those times. And we see what happened in the Bible when they turned against God, turned away from God. And He, always sent prophets out to warn them, if you don't turn back, this is what happened. This is our warning. When you look at what's going on in this country, when you look at what's going on in the world, that's our warning to turn back to God. So as Christians, we need to pray. We need to stay focused on Jesus, because God is still on the throne. And regardless of what's going on in this world, He's going to always take care of His people. He's going to always look at after His people. But we're still responsible for the choices and decisions that we make. And we should always put God and Jesus in our choices and decisions. So the basic, thing is just to keep praying. Pray without ceasing, basically.